Hello, I would like to expose the Seasons Resort at Sugarbush for their fraudulent and unfair practices. In 2002, my husband and I started receiving numerous calls from the Seasons soliciting us. They said that we had been chosen out of many people to be part of an exclusive vacation and investment opportunity. They said that just for our time, they would offer us a gift card to a nice restaurant. I was very reluctant and said I really wasn't interested. They went on and on to talk about what an opportunity it was as an investment. Reluctantly, I caved, as the idea of a nice dinner out did sound appealing. When we arrived for our appointment, we were introduced to our tour guide, Sue Cram, who started asking us a lot of questions about our lifestyle and travel plans. And did the idea of being able to go anywhere in the world and stay at 5-star resorts sound appealing to us? She said she had an exclusive investment opportunity where we could profit from, and the trips we take would virtually pay for themselves with rental income. She told us that due to the high number of tourists wanting to vacation in the Vermont Sugarbush area, there was a high demand and there were limited number of rooms available. So the owners currently at the Seasons Resort were renting out their units for a high rate of return on their investment, as well emphasizing that it would be easy to resell because of the demand. She and our colleague told us not to listen to friends and family who may tell us otherwise, because it was an investment for us and a guarantee that we would take vacations to top-rated resorts with luxury accommodations all over the world. That it would be very easy to trade, especially if we owned a Red Week, which of course was more expensive. Just to call up RCI and they would take care of all the arrangements. They showed us papers written by doctors and various professionals, even Ann Landers, about the health benefits of taking a vacation every year. We said we'd have to think about it. We'd been getting very tired and we'd been there for hours at that point. But oh no, they said that the offer was only good that day, and because of the high demand and limited units available, they would go fast. They said they could offer $2,000 off the price. We were still not comfortable, as we became apprehensive, they told us that they would offer us bonus vacation weeks at any resort, which I actually still have, we never used, and of course they've expired. They also said that they would pay the administration fees and RCI fees for us. It was a very gloomy day in the winter, and it had been a long winter already, and the idea of a tropical vacation sounded very appealing to us. She also said that if we didn't use our week, we could make money by renting it out. That sounded promising. What was there to lose? They also enticed us with a $5,000 Megabucks referral program where we had the opportunity to make $5,000 by referring our friends and families. Their claim, you supply the names, we do all the work, you make lots of money. We were brainwashed into thinking that it was an investment and that we could stay at luxury accommodations. Both false. It was very high pressure and we were exhausted and just wanted to get out of there at that point. We paid a large deposit and we used their preferred lender to finance the remainder. After we were home and had time to absorb it all, we had extreme buyer's remorse. But since we had paid such a large deposit, we didn't feel like we'd probably get that back. I found out when setting up payments with the lender, after telling him that we really did not want to buy this, he said that since we had been solicited to go to the property, we had legally 10 days to rescind the contract. But of course that time had expired because by the time we got our paperwork all signed back from the resort, that time had lapsed. Contrary to what sales staff told us, this does not pay for itself by generating rental income. We tried to rent it with no luck. And it's not easy to resell. It's impossible to resell. I've spoken with the resort's previous managers, which were many over the years, and current owners about selling. They said that they cannot help us, that just to place an ad in the newspaper or use Craigslist. I have tried with no luck. I even tried a specialized timeshare agency. I'm so stressed out and sick to my stomach every time I write a check for the maintenance fees. The contract was paid off about a year after we bought it. We have supported the Seasons Resort financially for 17 years now and have paid much more in maintenance and special assessment fees than what our initial investment was. I have written numerous letters to the current owners. My ex-husband has spoken with them in person, and they say there's nothing that they can do. We never used our week actually until a couple years ago. My husband and our son stayed there. It was very cold that week, and in July they needed to turn on the heat, which they found out the resort turns the heat off for the summer. And then last year, it was extremely hot and humid that week, and guess what? No air conditioning in the units. And our unit turns out to be right next to the property managers, and they have a son that played video games constantly, which they heard through the thin walls. They did not enjoy staying there at all, but felt it was an obligation since we had paid for it. We are sick of feeling like a hostage to something that we don't want, and it's a financial burden. We have supported this resort financially for long enough. We just want our contract canceled. And if it's so easy to sell and rent, then they can have it back and do it themselves. I've filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau and the Attorney General's office. I urge you, do not fall victim to the lies and deceptions of timeshare ownership at the Seasons Resort at Sugarbush, Vermont. They do not care about the effects their actions have on people or whether they lied to you to get you to sign. They simply replied, all salespeople will say or do anything to get a sale.